Obviously on live. Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome back to the channel United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all having a fantastic weekend so far. Hope you've all had a good start to your weekend. Hope you're having a good Saturday evening, and I hope you're all looking forward to the rest of this brand new weekend in August 2024 this year. First of all, do me a massive favour for me. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20. Remember to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to always remember to put the notification bell on at all times received. Dedicated brand new content, videos, shorts, and live streams we have got planned for the rest of 2024 this year in the month of August, right till the end of 2024. And obviously, as you can tell, Manchester United have lost the FA Community Shield final on penalties. It's not the way I wanted to lose that game. It's not the way I expected to lose that game. And it's not the way I wanted Manchester United to throw away a potential good start to the season, where we basically had the game won in that second half. I thought we were massively the better team in terms of the play. I thought we were better in terms of the most opportunities. And I thought, based on the goal that we get through Garnacho, I thought Manchester United really did deserve their lead. But it just goes to show that the situation we are in as a football club, as a fan base and as supporters, you look at that squad and you look at those players and you look at the amount of options we don't have, and you look at the players we do have who are simply not good enough. How many more chances is some of these players going to keep on getting in a Manchester United shirt? For me now, it's getting to beyond a point where it needs calling out for what it is. We were meant to see a complete restructure of this football club. It's good bringing in these board members like Barada and Ashworth, Jason Wilcox, Sir Dave Brailsford, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It's good, you know, bringing in positions in the boardroom that are specialists in football. But when you've got players that have been given more lives than a cat and more chances to prove themselves as Manchester United players, and they're carrying on making the same mistake after mistakes after mistakes, you just got to start counting how many more lives are Manchester United going to keep on getting and just keep throwing it away, because we know who the problems are at that football club, and we know certain players are refusing to leave. And I'm getting to beyond a point now that they need to be cleared out. And it needs to happen quite swiftly in these last 3 weeks of this transfer window, because in terms of the first half to the second half, I thought Manchester United were the better team. If I'm going to be really, really honest, I thought Manchester United dominated Manchester City. And I wasn't really expecting to do that based on the players we have unavailable due to injury and players we do need Manchester United haven't got. And Erik ten Hag is facing another season with a depleted squad through injuries, and players that he does want haven't been brought. And I just feel like he's facing an uphill task to keep his job. And I felt for him after the final whistle. I think you could see by his facial expression that he doesn't look happy. He looks like a man completely lost what to do with this team and with these set of players. And clearly, there's players in that team he wants out, and Manchester United aren't willing to get rid of them due to commitment and dedication FC. I think we're getting to that point now that Manchester United do not want to get rid of some of these players, and they're expecting Ten Hag to go again with the same set of players that he had last season that massively threw him under the bus. And if you look at the bench options and you look at that starting lineup, we all know that team isn't good enough. We all deep down know those set of players are nowhere near good enough. And I think Ten Hag is going to face a battle to keep his job. I'm really, really sorry to say, I think by Christmas, we are going to be in a position of turmoil where Erik Ten Hag is fighting to keep his job. We're going to have players that are going to throw him under the bus again. And we're going to have a depleted squad due to the amount of games that we are going to have to play this season. Not just in the league, but you've got the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Europa League, where we're going to be playing Thursday, Sunday every fucking week. I just think Ten Hag has been massively left out to dry today. But I don't think Ten Hag has helped himself by picking certain players who, again, are being deployed out of position. And I think where the second half went wrong is bringing on players like Toby Collier, Scott McTominay, Jadon Sancho. And the only positive we got off that bench really today was Garnacho. And for me, that was the only bright spark we had at all in that second half. That was the only bright spark we had was through Garnacho. Garnacho was creating all the problems for that Manchester City back four. They couldn't cope when they've got Garnacho running at him the way he does. And the goal he takes, he gets past two of the Man City players and slots it past Ederson. And you think, United have got five to 6 minutes to basically hold on, to keep this lead, get it to the 90th minute and get this game won and have a massive positive start to the new season. And again, like my parents would say, they throw it away as per usual. We can't hold on. We can't defend. And we're putting players in that team who are not in the correct positions, who are being put out of position again. I don't know why Manchester United keep shooting themselves in the foot. But it's getting to that point now that this needs to be called out. I don't think necessarily this is all Erik Ten Hag's fault. But at the end of the day, when he's got players he doesn't want and he wants rid of and the club are basically refusing to do it, what is Ten Hag meant to do with a squad of players that deep down he knows he can't trust? I think for me, after one game this season, he's already fighting for his job. And people say stop jumping to conclusion and stop overhyping, and stop overreacting. But we shouldn't have lost that game. We were massively the better team. We had massively the better chances and we should have got that game won. I think the one-on-one Rashford had, he should have scored. There's no excuses. I don't think that Bruno Fernandes goal was necessarily offside. I've looked back at the replay 2 to 3 times and Bruno Fernandes is clearly in an onside position. That goal should have stood massively. I don't understand why that goal's been ruled out. I think it's an absolute ludicrous offside decision that, again, has gone against Manchester United. I mean, we had this all last season. Decisions do not get given properly because we've got fraudsters in VAR and in the refereeing bandwagon that don't like awarding fair decisions to the better teams. And I think for me, if that goal stands and we find a second, we clearly win that game. And I just think we've thrown it away. And I'm gutted we've lost. I necessarily didn't think it was the end of the world if we didn't win. I just wanted to see where we are as a team performance-wise. And again, after one match, after one game already for this new season, I ain't convinced. And again, I'm not blaming Erik Ten Hag here. I fully stand behind the manager and I've got to back him. It was the correct decision to give him that job. But I look at that bench, I look at that starting 11. You could take a handful of those players out that United team and Manchester United would become instantly better overnight. And we all know who they are. We exactly know who they are. And the problem is, if the club are not trying to get these players out, I don't know what Erik Ten Hag is actually meant to do to keep his job, because when he's got two hands tied behind his back and he's having to pick certain players due to price and due to value that they are to this football club, it's fundamental that the club plays certain individuals in this team because of the price tag that they're worth. I don't think Ten Hag wants to do that. I think Ten Hag would rather bite the bullet and take his own decisions into that team instead of people around him telling him certain players need to be picked based on transfer value. Certain players need to be picked based on they're the face of the club. Players need to be picked because there's a lot of favourites and the fan supporters won't like it if certain players are not in that team or on the bench. People aren't going to like it. And I think it's got to stop, because Ten Hag is meant to be picking this team, is he not? Ten Hag is picking these players. And I get this transfer window has been a joke. It's been nowhere near fucking good enough. And Manchester United have got a hell of a lot of responsibility if this season goes wrong. And I do blame Ineos. I do blame Sir Jim. I do blame Sir Dave Brailsford, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, and Dan Ashworth. Because if you're looking at all them, and I love how they showed all of them on the screen. I love how they had to pinpoint that all these new sporting directors and all these football specialists have been brought into the club. I love how they had to put them all on a camera just to show, look at our shiny new toys. Look who we are. We're Mr. Billy Big Bollocks again. We're going to make the decisions. And again, they've had to make a decision on keeping the manager, but they're not making fair decisions on what players need to be sold. There's too much sentimental value that certain players are being kept on sentimental value. And I think that's wrong. I think players do need to be forced out. I think certain players do need to be sold. And when the club are not doing it and they're expecting to Ten Hag get on with it, you can't dictate the decisions anymore. I don't think that's fair, because how is Ten Hag meant to succeed where he's got a team of players he can't trust? He doesn't want to use certain players because he knows deep down they're not good enough. And the club don't want to get rid. It's all about sentimental value all the time. And that is all we've heard the last 3 fucking weeks, because we've done fuck all in the transfer window for the last 3 fucking weeks. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. And I don't know how the football club can sit there and allow a pathetic 2 out of 10 transfer window and send this squad into a new season where we're not just ready for the new Premier League season. We weren't fucking ready for the Community Shield. We were not ready today. And you could see that based on how slow and how fucking lethargic we actually do look. But it's surprising by the amount of chances we did not take. Amad Diallo, I mean, for me, I'm going to be really honest here. He is the only positive I can take out of today. He is the only fucking positive. He's the only player I can back. He's the only player I've got any hope or any positivity surrounding this season, because every time Amad Diallo gets that ball, he is creating problem after problem after problem for the back four. He's creating problems because he can take players on, he can get into the penalty area, and he can create chances. And I mean, the one-on-one he had to Edison, and then he squared it to Mason Mount, and Mason Mount is nowhere near ready to anticipate Amad Diallo putting that cross in, low hard cross. He puts that in, Mason Mount gets the goal. Amad Diallo, for me, it goes down one of the goal of the seasons already, because we split that Man City back four completely wide open. No one expects us to do that. And if we take that chance, we go a goal up in that first half. If we can hold them till half-time 1-0 up, let's try and find the second goal in the second half and finish them off. And we did not take our chances. Rashford, again in the first half, had another one-on-one situation, and he does not take it. Again, there's got to be question marks regarding Marcus Rashford's long-term future at this club. I think already, after one game, this guy either needs to be sold or he needs to be benched. Because I think going forward, we are a better fucking team without him. We are a massively better team without him. I don't know why no one at that football club has got any balls and grabs them by the horn and tell Rashford, you're going this summer. You're not good enough for the long-term vision. The long-term plan does not include you. We don't want you here anymore. I don't know why we are still putting all this faith in a player that has thrown his toys out the pram on more than one occasion. In front of goal, he is atrocious. He's had 2 glorious chances today to get off for a good start to the season and bottles both of them in a simple one-on-one situation against Ederson. He doesn't take neither, but no one has got any balls to call out how inconsistent this guy is. Like, you can say players have had a good pre-season. Pre-season was a complete and utter fucking waste of time. We basically have lost 2 of our main key players for the start of the season. We've got no YORO still for 3 fucking months. We've lost RASMUS HOJLUND for 6 weeks, so that's another 2 months. We've basically had our season depleted, and we haven't even kicked a ball in the new Premier League campaign yet. We've not even kicked a fucking ball. And what annoys me, the club have not reacted quick enough to the problems that Erik ten Hag is facing this season. And if he's gone by Christmas, I ain't blaming Erik ten Hag here. I'm still going to back him till death do us part. Because at the end of the fucking day, you're meant to be backing this manager that you've put all your faith in. But when he wants certain players sold, the club won't get rid. But when he wants certain players brought in, the club, we're not overpaying. We're not being held to ransom anymore. This is a completely different Manchester United. And I think for me, how much more of this bollocks is going to keep on happening? That we don't back the manager, we throw him under the bus, and he's expected to get on with it with certain players that don't fit the style of play he wants to introduce. He's got players in that team he can't get the best out of because the players around them are basically shit. And at the end of the day, Ten Hag is facing an uphill battle to get any kind of style of play introduced to Manchester United because those players can't do it. Those players ain't up to the task here. Those players do not try when they want to try. They basically give up when the going gets tough. And when we got that 1-0 lead, I thought, right, let's not do anything stupid. We've got this lead. We were the better team in the second half. Let's not throw this away because we're in a good position here to win the Community Shield. I'm not fucked off, to be honest. I'm just disappointed how we've lost the game because at the end of the day, the Community Shield is not a fucking trophy. It's a dinner plate that you can get from your local TK Maxx or your local Dunelm, and you can get quite cheap. And you could have that dinner plate on your table at Christmas when you have your Christmas turkey. I'm not fussed we've lost it. I just wanted to see where we are as a football club, logically. We're nowhere near again. And this is what really frustrates the fucking hell out of me. We are nowhere near the level we need to be. And the more we carry on and the more time we keep on doing this, the more mistakes are going to happen. The more Manchester United are going to get even worse. And at the end of the day, Erik ten Hag, I think, has got to demand more new signings, more of these bang average deadwood players need to be cleared out, and he needs to rebuild this team the way he wants to rebuild it because he can't do a job if he's not been given the tools to do it. Like, if you look at that team today, if you look at that lineup and you look at the selection and you look at the players that Erik ten Hag has got at his disposal, you look at the team selection. I cannot get excited by this team. I cannot get excited by these set of players. You've got Onana in goal, DALOT at right back, Maguire and Evans. You're playing Lisandro Martinez at left back. You're playing a false 9 again. So you've got Bruno down the middle, Rashford on the left and Ahmad on the right. We are then playing a midfield 3 of Mount, Casemiro and MAINOO. And then you look at the bench. This is our bench options currently at this club. Buendia, Collier, Eriksen, MCTOMINAY, PELLISTRI, Antony, Garnacho, Sancho, and ZIRKZEE. You look at that bench, right? I can't understand today, looking at it from a bigger point of view, how Marcus Rashford gets all this game time. I can't understand where the biggest problem last season was we're not scoring enough goals. We need another striker. We're not scoring enough goals. We need another striker. We've brought Joshua ZIRKZEE in from Bologna. From Bologna, right? He was meant to be the player that is going to solve all our goal scoring problems. He's the only fucking striker we've got at this club currently because our main man is injured for 6 weeks because he's done his fucking hamstring. ZIRKZEE was brought in because Ten Hag demanded a new striker. Since he's been brought in, he's not played 1 minute of football for this club. All he's been doing in training is individual sessions and 3 or 4 group sessions. And today, we've played 95 fucking minutes of football that has eventually had to go to a penalty shootout because of Man United's lazy ass defending again. We've been struggling to score goals. And I can't understand why the hell ZIRKZEE was brought if you're not going to use him. And people can tell me he ain't fit enough. He hasn't had a proper pre-season. He ain't fit enough. We ain't had a proper pre-season. But isn't today a good opportunity to see where ZIRKZEE's at, the level Manchester United need to find out? He's not even got onto the team, got onto the pitch at Wembley. He's not seen any action at all. The only action he did today was basically warm up for a few minutes. That is all we've seen. Apart from that, he's not even been brought on. And I can't understand why we brought a striker in that is not seeing any minutes already. And apparently, he ain't ready yet. He ain't fit. So what the hell has been going on recruitment-wise again? You're telling me we've got basically no striker. We're playing a false 9 again because our player we brought in to solve the goal-scoring problem isn't ready. What is that going to do for our season where our main striker isn't fit? The backup striker you've brought in, he ain't ready either. So we're basically heading into the Fulham game with basically no strikers, and we're going to have a false 9 again, like we've seen again today. I'm sorry to say, the problems of the goal scoring from last season itself again. It's going to repeat itself. ZIRKZEE should have played today. There is no excuse that he ain't ready, he ain't fit. We don't want to risk him because of injury. If he ain't ready, you've got to be questioning if he's been doing all these individual sessions in training and group sessions, why is he not ready? Why is this guy not ready? You've got to start considering this is a fact now. If he ain't ready, what the hell have we been doing? Because if we're heading into the new season, ZIRKZEE's not ready yet. Oh, great. So if he ain't ready, who are we expecting to deploy down the middle every week then? And I think United are going to have to go back into the transfer market for another striker. Because if ZIRKZEE's not ready, and we ain't going to see Rasmus till the end of September, beginning of October, we're fucking screwed again. We're absolutely screwed. And the problem is, when we had no Martial, it was Rashford and HOJLUND. When HOJLUND got injured and Rashford went out partying, went out clubbing and drinking in Ireland and got suspended by the club, he was quickly drafted back in. The reason why that was is because we had no striker. We didn't have it. We had a problem. And United didn't want to solve it. And do you remember in this year when we heard, we'll sign a striker, Eric? We'll sign you a striker. We'll definitely make that happen. We'll sign you a striker. It hasn't happened, is it? And United are basically heading into a new league season, and the problems of the goal scoring is going to, happen again. If ZIRKZEE's not ready, you've got to question, Mark, why did we sign him then? Why did we sign him? And I obviously back him because he's a new signing, he's a new player, and this is the striker Erik Ten Hag wanted. And obviously, he got backed on that. But if you're telling me already he's not fit and he ain't ready to start in the new season, what the fuck are our recruitment team doing to solve this problem already? Because if there's a clear problem there now, imagine weeks in the new season. Imagine if Rasmus gets injured again and then ZIRKZEE isn't ready and ain't fit and he then picks up an injury. What are we going to do? We can't play false 9s every week. We can't do that. That's just idiotic. And all we saw today was long ball FC. That is all we saw all game today was long ball FC. I thought that was meant to be grinding to a halt. Why are we playing out of the back and long ball FC? I mean, this vibe gives me the time we had Weghorst here. It was long ball FC all the time. That is all we fucking did was long ball FC. Let's play out from the back. That ain't going to work, Eric. I don't know why Eric Ten Hag is not looking at that. If that style of play wants to happen every week, then we are going to end up in a difficult position where we try to play out the back. We're going to slip up. One of our centre-backs loses the ball and the opposition striker is going to be through one-on-one and they're going to score. And again, if you look at the players and you look at some of the subs in that second half, let's call a spade here. Let's really call out these players. Casemiro, his fall off has to be investigated, not just by Manchester United, but by the Brazilian FA and UEFA. He was phenomenal in his first season at United. Absolutely fucking phenomenal. All of a sudden now, the fall off in his career, he's spiraling out of control like a fucking plane. Like, I don't know what the hell has happened to Casemiro here. He was meant to be that CDM problem that was going to solve the problem for the next 3-4 years. Third season in with Casemiro. Third season in. He's absolutely lethargic. He's slow off the ball. I mean, the amount of times he loses possession is criminal. I just think he's shooting himself in the foot here. I think he's massively shooting himself in the foot. But he ain't the only one. He isn't the only one doing it. I mean, Mason Mount as well. 60 fucking million we pay Chelsea for Mason Mount. Where does he fit in this team? Because once, hopefully, we get rid of Casemiro, because that needs to happen ASAP now, because his performances do not benefit Man United going forward. Mason Mount signing has got to be questioned. He's got the fucking number 7 on the back of his shirt, which is an iconic number in Manchester United's history. Where does he fit in this team? Because I tell you what, I don't want to see these players in that Fulham against Fulham on Friday night. Fuck that. Because that is just going to cause even more problems. We can't play a false 9 every week. United have got to get acting in the transfer market. They've got to start forcing these players out. Like, if you could sell Mason Mount, I would do it. If we have to take a financial hit, let's fucking do it. And let's bring in another midfielder who's going to be 10 times what he's ever going to be. This United career is not going to last very long. And Eric Ten Hag clearly ain't getting the best out of him. And it needs to be told how it is. He isn't good enough. Let's get rid. Casemiro also needs to be on that get rid list, because he ain't going to make it anymore. He's not fucking good enough. If we can get him sold to Saudi, fucking do it. If you can get 20 million for him, please go and do it. Because once he's out, the midfield is going to be a lot more recognisable and a lot more balanced once that slow coach is gone. And the person I feel really sorry for is Kobbie Mainoo, because he probably realises what the hell has happened to Casemiro here. And we've brought Mason Mount in, but we keep putting him on the left. We then switch him to the right. You're putting him in the midfield next to me when I clearly need Fernandes's guidance and experience next to me to get that midfield a lot more balanced and a lot more creative. And then I've got Casemiro behind me who can't fucking defend against them, who can't produce in front of the Man United back four. This is who I feel sorry for. It's the younger players that have got all this potential to take United forward into the future. And when you've got old slow coaches and inconsistent, bang average, deadwood players that can't do the job, these young players' careers are going to suffer more in the future because they can't get more developed, because the players around them can't bring the best out of them. So at the end of the day, this needs to be sorted. And hello to Ashton in the live chat. I hope you're good, mate. It needs to be sorted, because we can't carry on like this till the end of the season. We can't start the way like this against Fulham, because we're going to get found out. We're going to get exposed. That midfield will get run through like a freight train coming through Knapford Station on the island of Sodor. We're going to get absolutely fucking run through like a bullet train. And United will get exposed, and the explosion will be bad. So Mount and Casemiro clearly need to be out of this team. You then look at the back four. We're missing a right back because WAN-BISSAKA has gone to West Ham. I don't know why Man United fans are crying over it. He ain't good enough. Defensively, he's all right. But going wise attackingly, he is shite. So people need to get over WAN-BISSAKA's gone. He ain't fucking good enough. He was never good enough. And Solskjaer should have never, ever been allowed to have that signing sanctioned. WAN-BISSAKA has never, ever been good enough. And people need to stop crying over it, get over it. Man United are going to get better. They will get better, and we'll have a double transfer announcement live on this channel in a few hours' time, where we will announce 2 signings that we have got done today, and we all know who they are. A certain 2 Bayern Munich players, but we'll do our live reaction to that later on. All the right back we've got is basically DALOT. And I don't understand why he was brought off in that second half. I mean, what was the thinking? And what annoys me, what really fucking irritates me, we should have had all our signings done for pre-season. They weren't there. YORO played 1 or 2 games and got injured. ZIRKZEE saw no minutes in pre-season, wasn't ready. And, you know, where's all the other signings? That's my question to this board and Dan Ashworth and Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada. Where is the manager's signings, lads? Because you've sent him into a new season spiraling out of control already. After 1 game, we look nowhere near it. And I'm sorry to say, it's going to be a long season. Because there's no style of play we can produce because we don't have the players. Ten Hag can't get the best out of the players he wants because the players that he's got can't do the job he wants to do. And Ten Hag is facing a battle to get Man United fans and supporters on side. And he knows I think Ten Hag's the manager for the job. But at the end of the day, let's be realistic here. Let's be realistic. If we don't sign any more players and we don't get rid of any, we are going to be fucked this season. We're going to be absolutely fucked because we don't have the options. And, you know, DALOT should not be taken off in that second half. What Erik Ten Hag is doing, thinking of taking him off. But what really, 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 really shoots himself in the foot, and this is where the goal comes from. What the fuck are we doing playing Pellistri at right back? Can anyone, you know, get on board why the fuck we are playing Pellistri at right back? I mean, it's not just we've put him at right back, but what the fuck's he still doing here? Like, you're putting Pellistri at right back. Like, where's the right back then? You're putting Pellistri at right back because United have got no other right back because you've sold WAN-BISSAKA. They should have got a right back in soon as WAN-BISSAKA is sold. We only got that right back in. The here we go for it, which we'll react to later. And we only got rid of WAN-BISSAKA today. WAN-BISSAKA had been gone at the beginning of this week we just had. He should have been gone last week. And United have haggled and haggled and haggled and haggled more than haggling in a game of bingo. Like, at the end of the day, he should have been gone. The right back should have been brought in like that. And United are too slow. This transfer window, I'm sorry, I can't give it more than a 2 out of 10 because United's speed is slower than a snail. It is unfucking believable how long we take on transfers. If you want to be efficient and you want to be a better football club going forward, get your business done quicker and get the players in so Ten Hag can get this team moving forward, because I don't trust these players. I'm sorry to say, I think without YORO and without ZIRKZEE, we are fucked. We're basically screwed because we're stuck with Evans, we're stuck with Maguire. Lindelof, I don't know what the hell's going on because I think Lindelof is going, which is a blessing in disguise. Lindelof should have been sold fucking years ago. He ain't going to be a big miss. But you look at that back 4. I mean, again, I don't want to see our star centre-back put at left-back. I mean, again, that is on Ten Hag. But again, that's a clear message to the owners to say, well, at the end of the day, I've got no fucking left-back. Malacia is still injured. Luke Shaw is injured again. Like, come on. How many more times have we got to keep calling out these injury-prone left-backs like Malacia and Luke Shaw? It is an absolute disgrace that A, both of them are still at this club, and B, Man United haven't recognised that this left-back problem is becoming a bit more of a nightmare. If they can't get rid of them, terminate their contracts and get them out this football club. Because I think putting the Sandro Martinez at left-back was a sign to the owners. I need a fucking left-back. Where is he? because we can't head into the season having Martinez at left back, Maguire and Evans and DALOT. That back four will get opened up by the better teams. Liverpool will expose it. Man City exposed it. Chelsea will do it. Arsenal will do it. And so will Liverpool and so will Tottenham. Because they've got players that can expose the lack of height we've got, the lack of quality depth and the balance back four because we've got no proper left back. And as for right back, we're basically relying on DALOT now because WAN-BISSAKA's gone. So United have got to get moving. Lisandro Martinez is suffering at left back because he is not a fucking left back. And I've called it a match, so maybe we can put him there. That was an indication that isn't going to work. So United, that's another position that has got to be worked on. We need to bring a left back. And I think if the rumours are true that United are looking at Hermoso, the ex-Atletico Madrid left centre-back, who can also play at left back, he's there available on a free. Hermoso, if we can get him in, I think we're going to have to sanction that signing pretty quick because we cannot have this problem going into a new league season and also European football, Europa League. We can't have Lisandro Martinez at left back. We need a balanced back four here. And I think for me, United have also got to get working on that. Hermoso's there waiting to do on a free. I don't think his wages are going to cost much. So I think United can get that deal done. If you get him in for free, brilliant bit of business. You haven't got to pay any money. I think his wage would be about 80 to 90 grand a week. And I think he would come into the club and do a job. And I mean, you know, at the end of the day, would we take that and have a balanced back four instead of, and hello to BT, is it BT in the chat? Hello to BT. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hope you're good on this Saturday evening. Welcome to this live reaction for the Community Shield final between City and Manchester United. So yeah, we need to balance our back four. And if United can do it, please go and get this Hermoso in on a free. That balanced back four becomes balanced. But now we've lost WAN-BISSAKA. If Lindelof is heading out the door as well, and hopefully that will force Maguire out now, because when we do the live reaction to two certain players that we got the Here We Go from today, once we get that done, I'm kind of hoping, you know, we start moving more defensively and we can start playing, sit back, and we can hopefully get the style of play Eric wants once that back four is balanced. But if you then look from the options off the bench, I mean, it doesn't give you any excitement. I mean, Eriksen, that was assigned today. Erik ten Hag wants rid. Eriksen saw no minutes. Shouldn't really have to be. We shouldn't be really keeping him. If we can get 5-6 million for Eriksen, I would probably take it. I mean, if he can go back to Brentford, all I care. Like if Brentford came in with an offer for Eriksen, I would have to consider it because he will get in that Brentford team and he'll make Brentford a hell of a lot better. Like, no disrespect to Brentford, he made that midfield class. And I think if he went back to Brentford, he would do an amazing, amazing job for Brentford. Pellistri, I mean, Pellistri's at fault for the goal. Pellistri is massively, massively at fault for the goal because he's basically sleeping at right back, but he doesn't realise he's got Bernardo Silva challenging him for the goal. And clearly, that should not have been, we should have not put Erik ten Hag and that back four in that position, having Pellistri at right back. Pellistri's never going to be good enough. And I think if we get an offer of 8 to 10 million, just bloody take it. Pellistri shouldn't have been in that position. I feel sorry for him because it isn't his fault, but I've got no sympathy for Manchester United because they needed to move this guy on. So Pellistri should have not been at right back. DALOT should have been kept on. That's what really fucking infuriates me. And then what then annoyed me, we then switched DALOT to left back when he's not a fucking left back. I mean, it does go to show, it really does go to show that when you play players out of position, United crumble. They crumble more than Apple crumble. Like, it doesn't really surprise me because United get into these situations that we're winning and they just throw it away all the time. So, again, DALOT should be put at left back. He's not a left back, and that unbalances the back four again. And you then look at the midfield. I mean, Collier, I don't think's ready. I don't think really he's going to see a lot of first-team football. I think could do with a loan move. I think a loan move to like a Brentford or an Ipswich for Premier League experience would be ideal for a player like Toby Collier. But I don't think United will do it because they'll demand stupid wages and they'll demand a loan fee and they'll demand that Ipswich pay half of his wages. So I think at the end of the day, a loan move would be better for Collier going forward rather than giving him minutes. I just don't think he's ready. I think we've got better options in that midfield currently that get ahead of Collier. I mean, Ericsson doesn't. So that's a sign that they see Collier more than an Ericsson in the future. McTominay, I mean, what did he do in that second half? I mean, absolute useless. I mean, I didn't see anything from McTominay in that second half. What did he actually do? Because again, the invisible man. I mean, has he got Harry Potter's invisibility cloak on? I mean, come on. We've rejected 2 bids from Fulham. Fulham have now switched to other targets because United are being stupid. There's literally 22 million there, 25 million. Why are you not taking it for a guy that is not good enough? Please tell me why we are doing this to ourselves. We are shooting ourselves in the foot all the fucking time. And it's getting to that point now, it's getting really, really boring to talk about. If you've got 25 million for McTominay, please take it. So, yeah, you look at the bench. Ericsson shouldn't be there. McTominay shouldn't be there. Pellistri shouldn't be there. Sancho, I mean, is penalty. Absolute disgrace. I mean, we spent 75 million on a B-Tech Bergwijn. He's absolutely shit. He's apparently been welcomed back with open arms and he produces a penalty attempt like that. Absolutely atrocious. Get Jadon Sancho out of this football club. Because I tell you what he did. Fuck all in that little 5-minute cameo in the second half. Did fuck all. I don't see why he's still here. And the same goes for Anthony. Doesn't come on. Doesn't get picked. Doesn't get selected. Doesn't even start. What's he still doing here? We can't sell him because if we sell him, we have to take a massive hit financially, about 50 odd million. If he don't want to be here and we want rid, just sell him at a loss, get 30 million and put it in for a winger because we're going to need a winger because Sancho ain't the answer. Anthony isn't the answer. So the only hope we've got on the wing is Ahmad. I hope people realise that. The only hope we've got on the wing is Ahmad. And that is going to be like all season on the right wing. The left wing, Rashford needs to be dropped and Garnacho needs to come in. I think if our front three is Garnacho, ZIRKZEE and Ahmad, and hopefully when HOJLUND comes in, it'll be HOJLUND, Garnacho, Ahmad, we will create more goals. We'll create more opportunities because we've got a younger front three going forward that are going to scare a lot of these older teams who have got a lot more older players now who are getting into their, their stages of they haven't got many years left in their best careers ahead of them. That will scare the opposition because they've got a front three like that trying to cause problems for their back four. And I hope Ten Hag realises that. But when you haven't got HOJLUND and he doesn't want to use ZIRKZEE, we basically are playing false nines. So I don't know where this is going to go for United towards the transfer window, but I think we're going to need another striker after today. If we can get that Hermoso on a free, I would do it, or try and get Reguilón back on a permanent transfer because we've got no Malice here and no Shaw. But I think Hermoso is the way to go down because he's on a free, and I think United love a free transfer. It ain't going to cost them much financially on wages, but I think he's probably the only answer we've got because when we do our live reaction to certain players that we've brought in today, I'm kind of hoping United will start moving forward as a team a lot better and will start creating a lot more as well. So that is my hopes. But again, once we do that live reaction, and it's going to be an exciting one, it's a double here we go. When we do that later on this evening, I'm really looking forward to doing that. It's going to be really, really an exciting moment for all of us to talk about 2 players that we've got there. We goes to United today. Obviously, WAN-BISSAKA's gone to West Ham, which is a positive. But I think, Ten Hag does need more signings. I think we need another centre-back. We need a left-back. We need a UGARTE. That is a desperate. And we need a striker. So we need a centre-back, a left-back. We need a striker. We need a midfielder. So I think the options there, Hermoso on a free. I would take Sergio Ramos on a free for a bit more experience to balance that back for a little bit better. Hopefully that will then force Maguire and Lindelof both out of the club. But then again, we've got YORO. But with YORO out for 3 months, we kind of need that other centre-back. So I would get Hermoso in at left-back, Sergio Ramos on a free. The midfielder has to be UGARTE because CASEMIRO can't do it anymore. Atrocious again. And the striker, I think United have got to go all out for Ivan Toney. I mean, would Brentford do a deal? If we give them Ericsson and money for Toney, would Brentford do it with 1 year left on this contract? I'm not sure, but it's gutting to lose on penalties. I mean, letting Johnny Evans and Jadon Sancho take penalties was just a disaster waiting to happen. But again, the substitutions cost us. Players being played out of position didn't help at all. And when you take off your best attacking option in Ahmad, the attacking options dried up like a beach. Like, honestly, the options in that front three dried up like a beach. And the beach was so dry that the beach didn't get any moisture into it. So once Ahmad was took off, the attacking options dried up. We didn't have any attacking options, and we didn't have any attacking situations that City could deal with. So Ahmad and Garnacho, I hope we got on the wings, people. And unfortunately, it's going to be like that for the rest of the season because Rashford ain't the answer. HOJLUND's injured and no ZIRKZEE. So let's see what happens. But I hope you enjoyed this live reaction. Hit the like button and the share button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. United Red Devils 20. Share the video. Hit the tweet button. Hit the retweet button. Remember to always remember the notification bell. If you put that bell on at all times, you'll receive dedicated content right throughout the last few weeks in the August transfer window. We've got 3 weeks left. We've got the double Here We Go reaction to 2 players that we've got in today, which we're going to react to as well. We've got brand new videos, shorts and live streams. We're going to go and do the Fortnite live event at 7 o'clock as well. Really looking forward to doing that. And then we've got our first preview for the season against Fulham, and that will be in the early hours of Tuesday morning when we will do that preview because of the time. And I've had to do a bit of configuration with my streams now because my mum's not got no car now. It broke down the other day. So I'm having to go see my brother on the evening. Hope everyone understands. And yeah, mass shout out to everybody on the channel. And yeah, look out for that Fulham preview in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Stay safe, be nice, be kind to each other. You're all legends and you're all legendary. But United have lost the FA Community Shield on penalties. What a surprise. See you on the next one.